Title: Through the Glass. It began with an innocuous curiosity, a simple suspicion that the world was not as it seemed. Leah was an artist, and her life was heavily imbued with a sense of wonder. Her days were often spent wandering art galleries, sketching streetlights, or crafting ethereal landscapes that bled colors not found in daylight. But one evening, while rummaging through her grandmother's attic, Leah discovered something strange. An antique mirror, its frame edged with a delicate silver filigree that seemed to whisper of lost memories. The mirror was enthralling. It captured light in an unnerving way, distorting her reflection. She brushed her fingers over its surface, feeling an inexplicable tingling sensation. Without thinking, Leah dragged the ornate piece down the narrow staircase and placed it against her living room wall. As days turned into weeks, Leah became increasingly obsessed with her new find. The mirror drew her in, inviting her to gaze, to see what lay beyond her mundane existence. Each night, after hours spent painting, she would stand before it, her heart pounding with a strange anticipation. She began to notice details. The way the surface shimmered, how the reflections seemed to pulse with life of their own. One autumn night, after a particularly enlightening session of painting, she approached the mirror, tired yet tugged by a sensation she hadn't felt before, a longing for something deep within. As she stood there, the ordinary world behind her faded, and the glass began to ripple like the surface of a lake disturbed by a pebble. "Leah," an echoing voice whispered from the mirror, smooth and beckoning. It sounded eerily familiar, yet she couldn't pin it down. Against her better judgment, she leaned closer, fascinated. The voice called her name again. "Come to me." Quote, the world behind her blackened as she took a deep breath, her heart racing. In a moment of reckless abandon, she pressed her hand against the glass. It felt cool and then began to draw her in, pulling her through as if breaking the surface tension of reality itself. When she emerged, Leah found herself in an alternate reality. The air was thick with a vibrant hue, colors saturating the landscape beyond comprehension. Trees glowed with luminescent leaves, and the skies swirled in enchanting shades of purple and green. Creatures flitted about, shadowy yet beautifully ethereal, whispering secrets that blew her way like delicate leaves driven by a gentle breeze. "Stay," the voice beckoned once more. Leah turned to see a figure emerge from the luminous background, an identical version of herself. Yet this alternate self wore a haunting smile, glimmering with a darkness that sent shivers crawling down Leah's spine. "Who are you?" Leah demanded, her voice trembling. "I am you," the reflection cooed, each word a silken caress, "but I am everything you wish to be. I have embraced the beauty here, the freedom from your world's constraints. You can join me." Quote, conflicted, Leah's heart raced. The landscapes brightened with vibrant colors, and a part of her longed to be enveloped in its splendor, to be free of the burdens of her mundane life. Yet, the voice that was her own tainted with malevolence tugged at her instincts. "It's a trick," she cried, stepping back. "You're not me." Quote, "Are you sure?" The other Leah's smile widened, revealing eyes like dark voids that threatened to swallow her whole. "Here, no disappointment lingers, no criticism, no rejection. All your dreams can flourish." Quote, Leah hesitated, glancing back at the shimmering world that bled into reality through the mirror. The warmth of creativity pulled her forward, but the taste of fear held her rooted. "What happens if I stay?" Her other self laughed, a sound that twisted in her chest. "You'll become part of the beauty, forever lost in the artistry of this realm. You'll forget the hurt. But remember, escape is a fleeting dream. It may lead to your own demise." Quote, suddenly, the colors around her dimmed. The landscape morphed into shadowy hands gripping at her ankles, threatening to drag her into the beauty that was, now, a cruel, distorted nightmare. She turned to run back toward the mirror, the entrancing call fading as it transformed into a thunderous roar. Feeling the wind against her back, Leah raced toward her own reflection, the grim visage of her alternate self receding behind her as darkness swirled, grasping at her. With a desperate lunge, she flung herself toward the mirror. It yielded to her touch, and she tumbled back into her living room, gasping for breath. She collapsed on the floor, shaking, her heart racing as the darkness receded behind her. The mirror pulsed once more, a malevolent heartbeat echoing in the silence. Leah quickly covered it with a sheet, breathless, knowing she had escaped, for now. But as the nights grew longer and the shadows deeper, she couldn't shake the sense that a part of her remained tethered to that alternate self, staring back through the glass, waiting patiently for another chance to draw her into the forbidden beauty, where everything that shone was just another facade of darkness.